It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll see Raheem Mostert. He had a great week last week, well over 100 on the ground with a score. It's the Dolphins and the Bills, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Autumn has come to upstate New York. Fall colors abound, and we welcome you inside Highmark Stadium here in Orchard Park. Coming up, it's a rematch from last year's AFC wildcard round, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory, and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And here come the Bills for their first possession, led out by their 27-year-old quarterback in year 6. It's Josh Allen.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Allen going to look to throw on the first play. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. You talk about this Miami defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking out the #1 overall offense in the league. Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them. They're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Allen going to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins set to go on offense for the first time behind their 25-year-old quarterback, now in his 4th NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw 1 when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit. Good-naturedly, but they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
44 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. Once again, it's Mostert. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's where they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the #2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're #2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. He is going to find Hill here. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, only their first drive, Charles, but they talked to us about needing to convert on 3rd down, in particular not letting 3rd and short opportunities slip through their fingers. Well, they were successful right there.
It also tells you that they're successful on 1st and 2nd down as well to get to 3rd and manageable and make them able to pick up those first downs. Now here we are, 1st and goal. They got to like what they're doing on this drive.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Jeff Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. The 2 are going to try and throw for it. It's caught. And it's 8-0. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And now off to the races down the right side. 36 yards on the play. That's how you run the screen right there. The defenders get out of place, and then there's a lot of room to maneuver for your running back.
That's because all the defenders, or I should say the bulk of the defenders, were chasing the quarterback. Great disguise, great fake. Got the screen out there, turned into a large gain.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Speedster Raheem Mostert and the rest of this offense out to start the drive.
First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
One quarter down, 8-0 the score. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
That good for 19 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football. Go ahead.
On first, they'll go back to Wilson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. A pause here for an injured player, and this would be an important one. Von Miller in some discomfort on the field right now.
We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
Get set.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off of play action, Tagovailoa.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
A.J. Epinesa, the one credited for the sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had much to the end zone the last time out.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good,
and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bills offense back out onto the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Allen looks to throw on second down. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, they're running a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense.
There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
81 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, we often poke a little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. Well, he's showing past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
You certainly can, and I think that we're starting to expand our definition of old running back. Because it used to be as soon as they hit 30, we want to get rid of these guys and go to the younger guys. But now that the guys are taking such great care of themselves, as you pointed out, you can still get explosive runs at any age.
On second down, Mostert.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Play action, now it's Tua. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to stretch out their lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Mike McDaniel, no hesitation on his end. He's telling his offense to go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Jake Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Williams now on the return. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, he stays up. And this will be incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Allen will try again on second down. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a fourth down.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this returnable for Hill. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And here comes Raheem Mostert and the Miami offense.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To a hit, and the ball is out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their...
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Stephon Diggs, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Bills get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground.
And pass across the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. The Panthers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Next, we head north to Philly.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They fake the handoff, now Tua. Open man downfield is Hill. Now he's free to midfield. How about this? He's to the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 81 yards. And the Dolphins come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Tua and the Dolphins offense staying put. They'll go for 2.
21G.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
And he returns this to the 22. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. Well, another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air. Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
To throw, it's Allen. Got it complete to Khalil Shakir. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, part of their struggles in the first half was their inability to convert consistently on third down. But how about this well-designed play? Gave himself plenty of options and able to get the hook up and keep the drive going.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
They run the option on second down. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So holding on the offense, they go ahead and decline the penalty, and the ball will change hands on the fumble recovery. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A run with Mostert up the middle to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On play action, here's Tua. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Dolphins take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Solo left Zion. Watson Oscar.
Here's Tua. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Jake Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now Allen. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On first down, Allen. He'll find Diggs once more on the completion.
12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked off by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, you know, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. Second down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 137 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. We're in the third quarter in upstate New York with a 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This will be caught. It's Waddle. He's into space past the 25. And finally taken down at the 15. It's a big play there for Miami. 42 yards.
And the Dolphin first down.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
44. Ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to get the football back at their own 17. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
Second and 6 at the 37-yard line.
Allen to throw once more. And his throw is incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Throwing is Allen on third. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Brandon Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. One final try here for Allen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They hand it off to Mostert. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Bills are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Nick Needham picks it off. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bills are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Allen. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. Inside the 20. Now he's loose at the 40. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Deontay Hardy, 72 yards. And the Bills get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth-quarter deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Mostert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Got a man, it's Waddle complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Dolphins are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
It's a run with Mostert, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size and victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Williams to return.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though? How many takeaways did they have? I quit counting after a while. They were clearly the better team, and their defensive effort, it led the way.
So for Miami, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.